This is an ABC podcast.
I'm Josh Sepps. This is The People Versus, the show where you, the people, wrestle with the ethics of one big issue in the news. Each week, the people are joined by brains trusts to help guide us through our moral deliberations. This week, the brains trusts are Tony Seabrook, the president of the Pastoralists and Graziers Association of Western Australia, who's on his farm in York, WA. Fred Hooper, the chair of the Northern Basin Aboriginal Nations Organisation, which represents 22 First Nations in the Murray-Darling Basin. He's in Tamworth today. And Tim Flannery, one of the world's most prominent environmentalists, the 2007 Australian of the Year, who heads up the Australian Climate Council. His latest book is Europe and Natural History. He's with me in Sydney.
But look, if I could go a little bit further north, because what Fred had to say about the Indigenous issue, look, I don't want to say that we're not interested in what happened in the past and we can't learn. We can. But we have a state divided into two parts, the agricultural and the pastoral. And there's a clear line there between freehold and the land that the government owns and controls that's leased to the pastoral industry, and then further out what's called unallocated, which no one's doing anything with. It's just unallocated Crown land. Now, if you go up into the Kimberley, the absolute misery and squalor of what's going on up there with our Indigenous people, it is an absolute disgrace. And to drive into Fitzroy Crossing and seeing Indigenous people sitting under trees, drinking all day long with absolutely no purpose whatsoever, I think is appalling. And I've applied as much pressure as I'm able to in government quarters to begin to address this. Now, even our local Minister for Agriculture said the situation's hopeless and they're unemployable and I don't know what to do.
And I think the issues you're dealing with saying, Aboriginal communities up there are hopeless and where they just need economic development, that's not right. What they need is empowerment. They need to be in control of their own future.
Hang on. Two Indigenous properties up there, they've lost thousands of head of cattle through absolute neglect in the last couple of months. Thousands of head have died of thirst because of a system that in no way supports them in the way they need to be. Now, Fitzroy, there's the lodge, there's the inn, there's the IGA, and the two fuel stations up there, of which one I believe is controlled by private enterprise. All the rest are Indigenous owned. If you go into them, you won't find any of the local people employed there. They're backpackers. Now, on Go-Go Station, there's a community there, there's a school there. I have had numerous pleas from the people up there, please help us. These schools are being trashed on a fairly regular basis. The kids are not attending school beyond the age of 14, and alcohol is a massive problem. So, Tim, mate, you must have visited.
Hold on. Fred, I didn't want this to turn into a debate about Indigenous affairs, but it has. Take up the mantle since you represent Indigenous nations.
To some of the comments, brother, because do you understand Aboriginal law? Do you understand our culture? You don't. You don't understand that at 14, an initiated boy becomes a man.
I certainly do.
Hold on. And you're forcing him into a system that is foreign to him, where,
I know that.
Where a teacher might come from Adelaide, that's a 22, 23-year-old female teacher, and that man have to sit in that classroom and take orders from somebody else that in the community would not be able to do that.